Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. Let's start by chopping the essential ingredients for this recipe. Though I am using this handy dandy gadget, it doesn't mean that you need it as well. It just makes my life easier. That's why I use it all the time. And this is not a sponsored video. In no time, everything gets finely chopped. That's why I'm so much in love with this. Next are the tomatoes. Okay, straight to the pan on medium-high heat. Add about 4 tablespoons of oil. And if you are thinking it's too much oil, then please keep this in mind that this proportion of curry is good for 6 to 7 servings. Once the oil turns hot, lower the heat to medium and add cumin seeds and black mustard seeds. Mustard seeds tend to splutter more than cumin seeds when added to the hot oil, so please keep that in mind. Add the chopped onions and garlic along with a sprinkle of salt and stir on medium heat till the onions get softened up and the color deepens. When you see the oil dancing around the sides, you will know your onions are well fried. It's not that you have to use red onions, but I like red onions in my curries. Next is spice powder time. So a splash of hot water that prevents the spices from burning and heat low. Turmeric powder, Kashmiri red chili powder. Stir for a second. Then in goes grated ginger. The reason why I am adding ginger now and not with the onions is that ginger tends to get bitter if fried for a long time. Then it's time for the tomatoes to go in along with a sprinkle of salt. Now comes the test of your patience, because the more the tomato gets fried, the flavor intensifies and the yummier it gets. Fry it on medium heat. The tomatoes will release a lot of water at first and you need all that water to dry up. From time to time, give a stir to check that nothing is sticking to the bottom of the pan. As you can see, the water has dried up and you can see the oil dancing all around. When you see this, it's time to go to the next step of tomato sitting, and it took me about 6 to 7 minutes to dry up all that liquid from the tomatoes. Next comes some sweetness to balance the acidity from those tomatoes. And then half a cup of hot water. Now what you want to do is to keep this covered on medium-low heat for 15 minutes. Yes, my friend, you heard it right. 15 minutes, because the more the tomatoes get cooked, the better they taste. From time to time uncover and give a stir, and if you find it is drying up, add a little water. In the meantime, I will make a quick and simple garam masala powder. You can even add a teaspoon of store-bought garam masala powder. What happened is that I found that I am running out of garam masala powder, so this is a quick fix. But I am telling you, my friends, there is nothing like adding freshly ground spices. So always have the basic whole spices on hand, so that if you suddenly see you are running out of ground spices, you can immediately grind them fresh and add it. And if you are serious about cooking Indian food, a mortar and pestle always comes in handy. Okay, all spices are ground to a fine powder. Back to the tomatoes. See how that oil has come to the surface? When you see that, you will know the tomatoes are well cooked and fried, and the flavor has intensified, and the next ingredients can now be added. Here I have boiled 2 potatoes, and I break them while adding. Do not mash them, but just break them roughly like this. Then comes the tofu. I even like breaking the tofu for this recipe. Whole green chilli, along with some salt. A brief stir. And then a cup of hot water goes in, along with the freshly ground garam masala powder. And while stirring, I felt this curry needs something green, so I couldn't stop myself from adding frozen green peas. Guys, they are totally optional. It's just a last-minute thought that played in my mind. I feel those green peas are making the whole curry look so pretty. Cover on for 8 minutes on medium-high heat. After 8 minutes, do a taste test and adjust the seasonings if required. I felt it needed more salt. And then you know how Bumbi signs off a dish. Coriander leaves, of course. Serve it with rice, roti, or maybe toasted bread.